Hello, my fellow flawless, limitless, sexy, sassy, saucy HBICs. How are you on this lovely morning, afternoon, or evening? How are you all? I hope you are deciding to be the version of yourself that is having your manifestations. I hope that's what you're doing. But if you're not, why? Why don't you give me the excuse in the comments down below why you are not choosing to be the you that has what you desire? Let me know. Let me know in the bottom below in those comment sections. Let me know, okay? Because I'll refute all your excuses. However, this video is going to be geared to people that are not believing, people that are not experiencing their desires, people who may have never experienced, what they're consciously manifesting to show up in the world. Maybe you feel like it's not working. Maybe it hasn't worked yet. But first, some basic bitch. If you need help figuring out what's going on between you and your manifestation, please feel free to email me at manifestingwithkimberly@gmail.com. All of my coaching options are in the drop box below. They're in the screens that just went by. I have 2 channel memberships where I go live with my channel members twice a week. I have the exclusive lives group, which is my Tuesday group, and I go live with them at around 9:30 p.m.-ish Eastern Standard Time. That is a zhuzh only group. We share success stories, tips, and tricks. It is if you need a boost. Poop is just living her best life right now. If you need a boost, you need a little encouragement on your journey, that is the group for you. However, if you want to ask me specific questions about your specific circumstances, you will want to join the hot seat /group coaching, which that group, I go live with them every Friday at 9 a.m.-ish Eastern Standard Time. So that's the group for you if you want to ask me specific questions that, I don't know, maybe you watched a live stream and wanted to purchase a super chat, and maybe you did and it didn't get answered in the live stream, and you don't want to wait for the video to be recorded answering your super chat. Then that's the group for you, the hot seat group. And the bonuses of the hot seat group is you now have access to both of the channel memberships, both live streams. And that is the only group that I record the meeting, the session in, and I upload, and it is in the playlist, the hot seat /group coaching playlist. So there's that. Okay. I'm in one of my sassy moods. Okay. So I also have TikTok, Instagram, and Clapper. And I would love for you to join me everywhere. And if you are new, hi. I'm Kimberly, and I am obsessed with manifestation and getting what I want. And I would love for you to subscribe if you can handle my sass, and come back and see me, because I love to share my own personal journey with manifestation. And I love to refute naysayers about manifestation, because this literally works. We are doing it 24/7, whether we are aware of that or not. I would also appreciate if you could hook a bitch up and put a like on this video so my videos can get out to other people who are meant to be, if that's really a thing, it's not, meant to be manifestors, conscious manifestors, and maybe are looking for help. And this could help my video get out there and get to that person, okay? So if you are a limitless, flawless manifester, you're gonna enjoy hanging around my channel. All right, Kim, just stop. Let's jump in. I want to discuss some questions that I often get under my comment sections or in my live streams, the live chat. I get asked a couple of typical questions, and this is no judgment, because in my opinion, I don't care where you are on your journey. You are free to ask me anything about manifestation. It's okay to ask me what others, more experienced people in this community might look like a basic bitch question. Because I also saw in my comments the other night that someone wanted to ask me a question that I happened to make a video about anyway, but they were too embarrassed to ask the question because they thought it was going to be like a basic bitch. And never feel that way on my channel. I don't care. This is about getting you to understand the law of assumption / manifestation. This is the channel to learn, and this is the channel that I like to Kim things down so that everyone can understand what manifestation is talking about. Or what, people that have written books, like you're going to hear Neville Goddard all the time, right? And I love Neville, but I'm just saying, you're going to hear stuff that sometimes sounds really confusing. And I know because it confused me too. But, after reading it a million gazillion times, it finally clicked for this girl. But I understand sometimes things are hard to get. And I like to be the person to help you get it. I like that. So, I want everyone to know, this video is not about that, but please, you can ask me anything. Even if you think it's a beginner or a newbie question, ask. Because if you don't ask, you're not going to get your question answered. Actually, that is not true, is it, Kim? I need to retract that. I'm going to leave this in the video. I'm not cutting that part out. Because you know what? If you ask questions, ask your universe, God, I am, higher power, source energy, your higher self, a question, an answer will come up. Answers always come. But regardless, always feel free to ask what you want. Who cares if it's a beginner question, okay? You might have just discovered manifestation, right? Everybody's a newbie at least one time, right? At least one time. Okay, so common questions I get is, okay, Kim, but I've been doing this for such a long time. Where is my manifestation? Why is it not working? Or I don't know if I can actually believe this. Why do we think that manifestation is real and all of that? And I get it. Manifestation sounds like a get rich quick scheme. It sounds too good to be true. And I feel you on that because I felt the same way. I was a very, very skeptical, negative, what other words? Skeptical, negative. And a non-believer, I really thought most of this was chucked up to bullshit, and definitely felt like it would never work for someone like me because I was naturally a negative person, meaning I would always see the negative in things first. So I thought manifestation, at the time, all I had known was law of attraction. I found law of assumption a little bit later, but I felt like you had to be happy and positive at all times or you would not be able to get your manifestation. So I would put this pressure on myself that I have to pretend to be happy and positive all the time. And then when I wouldn't be, right, because I'm a human, when I would have my negative moments, I would feel like I just got pumped all the way back to the beginning, like a start over each time I had a reaction or a response to something in my 3D. And it just felt impossible. And I understand, like if you feel that way, I get it. But let me promise you, this is a promise. That's a big statement that you don't have to be. You don't have to be positive all the time. You don't have to be happy all the time. You don't. Okay. However, does it feel better to feel good and be happy? Well, yeah. Right? No one wants to feel like poop on purpose, right? So again, this is not about you having to force yourself to be happy all the time. But all right, so for me, that's basic bitch info in this community. No toxic positivity is necessary. No perfection is necessary to manifest. Most of you already know that. However, doubts and doubtful thinking is something that, I shouldn't say it like this because I don't want it to be a limited belief on anyone else, but I think it's to be expected on this journey. Now, I don't want people to expect the journey to be hard or expect it to, disappoint you, because I'm telling you, because of my personal experience, if you choose to not give up, you will not fail. And you will experience your desire if you keep going, okay? But I understand that the question is sometimes that if this is true, why isn't everyone just getting what they want, right? Doesn't everyone want to be a millionaire, Kim? So why isn't everybody doing it? And I have read multiple books, Ernest Holmes, Genevieve Beren, Neville Goddard. I could keep going if you'd like me to list everyone else. I'm not going to. Everything that I have read comes back down to this. And think about yourself for a minute when you first found manifestation, when you know your damn well self doubted it. It felt bullshit. It felt fake. It felt like this could not possibly be true, right? Or everybody would just be getting what they want and there would not be enough money left in this world, blah, blah, blah. So depending on what you believe in, universe, God, higher power, source energy, moonbeams, whatever, the Big Bang Theory, I don't care what you believe in. I do believe that there is a God. And what God is to me is not necessarily like a gendered person. I think God is omnipresent. Like it's everywhere. God is everywhere and in everything. And another name for that is the absolute. Sometimes people refer to this as the universal mind or just universe. Or another phrase I love to say is pure, unadulterated consciousness. So every single one of us is connected to this consciousness. However, it's like God stays quiet within you, which is also can be referred to as your I amness, the I am, right? God's name, I am. I'm feeling the sass today. It's like God is quiet and silent, and God does not, or the universe does not push itself on you. Because you as an individual, the individualized form of God, has free will. You have free will, I have free will. We have choice. And most people choose to not believe in this because it's scary. It's scary to allow yourself to get excited, to think you might actually experience your desires. That's a scary thing because most of us have experienced letdowns and disappointments in our life, right? So Neville wrote this, and I found this very interesting. But until individual man believes in his own wonderful human imagination, God remains imprisoned within him. If you do not harvest God's promise, it is only because you do not believe. In other words, because you have free will of choice, you have the choice not to believe that manifestation is real. You have that choice. And because most of us have had experiences where we've been hurt, let down, disappointed. I think I said that earlier. Disappointed. It can feel very unsafe to allow yourself to get your hopes up. And I want to reassure you that if you don't give up and you keep choosing to be the version of yourself that has whatever it is you're manifesting, it won't let you down. This is not where you're going to get disappointed. But if you give up, or if you spend more time doubting, wavering, wobbling, your experience is probably going to be hot and cold. Not saying that as a limited belief. I'm saying it because that was my experience. And it's what I see within my coaching clients. That when we're sitting in consistent, dominant doubt and disbelief, that will be our experience in the 3D, because your 3D is always, ever showing you who you are. Or another way of saying that is reflecting it. So you have to ask yourself authentically, who are you? Who are you being? A lot of times we give surface answers to that, surface level. But this is deeper than surface level. It's deeper than that. A lot of us on this journey don't want to be honest because we're afraid if we think that thought too long that it'll manifest. Or if we are honest with ourselves and say and acknowledge what we really do think about ourselves, that will somehow lead to someone telling them or yourself Well, now you can't have your manifestation because that's what you really believe about yourself. And none of that is true. The more honest and authentic you are to yourself on what you are really believing about yourself, about what you're manifesting, that's where we figure out why you haven't experienced it yet. And then we start making a new decision. In my opinion, manifestation is habits. It's choosing new habits. Because we have all been in the habit of being whatever version of ourselves we are when we find manifestation. It's a habit. It's our coping mechanism as well. Meaning, again, when you're manifesting and you're allowing yourself to even entertain the thoughts that it's a possibility that you could have exactly what you want, that feels so unsafe, so insecure, that it's a big step to allow yourself to entertain that. And I think sometimes we look at this journey as if it's work, a lot of work. And that's not true. That's just what you're thinking. That's what you're believing. So therefore, it will be your experience. It's the law of assumption. What you believe to be true as an individual will be true for you, because each one of us has our own individual reality experience. So if you think this journey is hard, it will be. Manifesting is easy. We, logical, literal humans, make it difficult because we think it is hard. We think there's lots of things to do in order to experience our desires. And that is not true. That is just another limited belief. Salvation history is over. We are not here to sow, for the fields are already white with harvest. Because all things are, and the harvest is, you are not here to till the soil and plant the seed, but to reap that which you did not sow. If you know that faith is simply loyalty to unseen reality, you can construct a scene, remain loyal to it, and harvest it, for everything is already completed. In other words, this doesn't have to be work for you. What you want already is created. Does that sound right? What you want is already created. Meaning every possible outcome, every possible choice is done. It's finished. It's created. But our logical, literal minds tell us a different story. It's really just kind of like tomato. It's how we think about manifesting itself and what you're manifesting. Sometimes we look at those subject areas as hard. It's going to be hard for me to get that. And it's not. It's not hard. It's a choice that you make with repetition, meaning to experience your desires, to truly experience them. You make the choice every day, sometimes more than once a day, to be the you that has whatever it is you desire. That's it. That's how to manifest. Choosing to be the version of you that has your desire. The work comes into the equation when we, as our current version of self, have a belief that it's hard. Or we have a belief that there must be a lot to do. And again, that is just logical thinking. It's a limited belief. Nothing more than that. You as the individual need to make the decision that this doesn't have to be hard, and it's not hard. And that you're doing everything right at all times. The universe or God, that is you. That is what you are made of. That's who you are, really, underneath the layer of Kimberly or underneath the layer of whoever you are. It's choice. It's a simple choice. It feels difficult when you apply logic, reasoning, literalism. This journey doesn't have to be hard, and it feels like it is. You need to ask yourself again, who are you being? Who do you believe you are? What do you truly believe, authentically believe about manifestation, let alone the what you're manifesting? This is a journey where you truly are completely and utterly in control, as in what you desire, what you want to manifest. You're in control of that choice. Another reason why this journey can feel hard is when we are trying to control how it manifests, how it shows up. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some things, in my opinion, that we can choose that we want to experience on our bridge of incidents. I'm going to use the example of, if you're manifesting marriage, maybe you have an idea of how you wish the proposal would go. I don't see any harm in choosing a proposal scene and focusing on that. I don't think that's a big deal. Some people think differently. And if their opinion bothers you or makes you feel like you shouldn't use a proposal scene because it implies you don't have it yet, and you're now then questioning this, you're going to get doubtful thoughts. But if you work on making the decision to be the you that is confident enough in manifestation, you don't care what anybody else says, because you realize that it's really you making the rules. This isn't hard. This doesn't have to be work. It's because you're thinking logically that it feels like work. Again, I believe you can create any scene you want, so long as it implies the outcome that you're wanting to manifest. So sometimes this journey feels hard or feels like work because we're listening to too many people's opinions on manifestation, where unfortunately there's a lot of limited beliefs out there. And when you hear limited beliefs, I'm trying my best to implore you to ask yourself, does that feel true for you? Because if somebody else's beliefs around manifestation make you feel a certain type of way and it's a yucky feeling, that's not for you. Throw it out the window. This really is an individual journey. You make your own rules of manifestation. You have that power within you to decide whether this is hard or not. You have the power to decide what's required to manifest or not. You're in charge of all of that. But sometimes we lack the confidence or the experience to truly back off other people's beliefs. But I'm telling you, it's individual. And that is another reason why this journey can feel difficult, is because we share success stories, and that's done all over the place, so that's no hate on that. But most of us have, and be honest, most of us read other people's success stories. We instantly want to know exactly what they did to get it, so that you can copy exactly what that person did to get it. And then you start comparing yourself to that other person. You are an individual. Your journey is not going to look the same. Now I tell you this, as persons differ, so will the experiences. Two people here have had that birth. In one case, there was no witness. Therefore, his witness is scripture. In the other case, the lady had 3 witnesses, 2 brothers and a friend she thinks of as a brother. So because we do differ in the kingdom, the visions will differ, but the pattern will remain the same. Meaning, because we're individuals, our journeys are going to look different than everybody else's. So there's no point in comparing. And when he's referring, the pattern will remain the same, the how we're manifesting. knowing that you are the I am, and you choosing to embody the state, aka choosing the version of self that has the manifestation. That pattern remains the same. But from there, this is going to look different. But most of us get so wrapped up in comparing and then beating yourself up because your journey doesn't look like theirs. So you think you're a failure. That's why this can feel hard too. Another reason why this can feel difficult is because we are relying so much on outside validation. The number one spot is staring at our 3D, doing our manifestation techniques and instantly looking out here. Is it here yet? Is it here yet? Did I get BBLs? Am I getting signs? You're not manifesting BBLs. You're not manifesting signs. So why are we looking for them? It's totally fine to notice them. But when we're looking for them, that's you becoming the version of self that's manifesting BBLs and signs. That's not the you being the you that has your manifestation. Again, just innocently noticing a sign is not the same thing, and that's perfectly fine. But when you are searching for them and then disappointed if you don't see them, who are you being? Period. And then there's the other looking outside of self, the other type of outside validation. Because of one's former religious training, when the truth is heard that will set him free, he is torn between the two. To think that one can come to hear my message, yet still believe in what the churches teach, is like what someone once said to me. I have given up all belief in numerology and astrology, but the moon is passing Venus tonight, and because he is in my second house, I know what to expect tomorrow. They have completely given up their belief, but that big but happens in all. So what does Neville mean by that? Number one, when we first find manifestation and finally comprehend that, oh my God, I am God, I am the I am. Number one, I don't know about you, but I was raised Catholic and it sounded blasphemous to even utter that phrase. I am the I am God. That sounded terrible. Like I'm going to get in trouble someday for saying that, right? But the thing is the more you learn on this journey about what the Bible was really meant to do, meaning showing us how to use our mind, we get caught up with letting go our old beliefs around manifestation, around religion, around what we've all been raised to believe, right? And granted, there are all different types of belief and religious systems out there. So this isn't meant to hate on any of that. You know, it's your choice what you choose to still believe about yourself. But sometimes we intertwine that and then we get confused and then we feel this is hard. This journey is hard and it's a lot of work. Or maybe it goes against completely everything you ever been taught. I know it did for me, but I feel more free. And I think that's how we're supposed to be. Free to choose any desire. But the other is astrology, tarot readings, psychic readings. You are giving your power outside of yourself. You're giving it away. And for as much as I am willing to say, because listen, even I am friends with some tarot readers. Tarot, the intention of it is to read your current energy and the knowing that you can change whatever the reading is. Meaning you don't have to fear that, all right, let's say your current energy is your specific person has a third party and is with the third party. So you can make the change by deciding to be the version of you that has your specific person, period. But most of us are still so wobbly in our manifestation side of life that we instantly begin fearing what we heard in those readings. And then we start festering and thinking about it and fearing it and then thinking about it. And then guess what? It manifests because that's where you put your main focus. You see what I'm saying? So if you know that you are still wavering and wobbling, stay away from that shit. Stay away from it. If you're weak-minded, and listen, to some people are, and that's okay. But if you're someone who knows you're going to get triggered as hell to get a shitty reading, then why are you even doing it? You have to be honest with yourself. Be authentic to the why you're doing it, because you're not going to outrun yourself. You're not going to avoid who you really are being. Listen, I'm going to say it, and I'm going to say it as harsh as it sounds. There is no avoiding who you really believe you are. So you can pretend that you're just not going to be honest about what you're really believing or fearing about what you're manifesting. But your 3D will always validate it. You can't hide from your I amness. You cannot hide from that. So you need to ask yourself, why are you doing it? Because you want to hear encouragement? You feel like you need that encouragement? You feel like you need to hear it outside of you? At some point on your journey, you're going to get away from that. And it is going to feel very freeing. And I love that Neville added that little bit in there when he said what a woman once said to him. I have given up all belief in numerology and astrology, but the moon is passing in Venus tonight, and because he is my second house, I know what to expect tomorrow. Then you have just given up your own damn power. You've just given it away to outside of you. Why would we ever do that? Why would we ever do that? Listen, don't get me wrong. There are aspects of astrology as far as I think it's fun to look at the different listings of, all right, what a Taurus is, or what a Taurus Gemini cusp is, because that's me. I think it's fun and it's interesting. But at the same time, I don't read horoscopes, and I don't give a shit what anyone in the horoscope astrology world tell me about if my specific person is the right sign for me. I don't put my power in that 3D. I don't give a rat's ass what an astrologer, a psychic, or a tarot reader says to me. I don't give that power away, and neither should you. Again, like I said, a good tarot reader is going to say, look, whatever I tell you, it's just reading current energy. You can absolutely change this. And there are good tarot readers who do that. Just saying. Some even teach a little bit of both. They do tarot readings and meld in some law of assumption. Fine. If it's lighthearted and fun, I feel like it's innocent. I am also of the belief that I don't think there's anything wrong with placebos along the journey. Placebos, an example, you're going to make fun of me, but the placebo of like moon water, leaving the water out at night, right? With your affirmations, what you're manifesting underneath it, and then you drink it all in the morning. And if that makes you feel like that gave you an extra boost of manifestation power, I don't care. That's fine. Honestly. But when you lose your shit over tarot readers or the reading you got, or you are relying on it, I'm sorry. That's when that shit needs to stop, and you aren't being honest with yourself as to why you want that reading. Just saying. Keeping it real here. We're keeping it real. All of these things are on the outside. Faith in any power other than he who is within you is false. And anyone who teaches a power on the outside is a false teacher. Christ in you is your hope of glory, and there is no other power. Period. Again, those are all just some examples of why this journey can feel hard, or feel like it's work, or that it's not working. I really highly suggest, if I could give like just a few tips on manifestation, I would tell you, really dive deep and get to know the I am within you. Really understand who you really are and why you're able to manifest, number one. Number 2, detachment from the 3D. Detachment from the 3D means nothing more than I'm not going to allow a 3D circumstance to tell me that I can't have my manifestation, or I am not allowing my current 3D to tell me who I am. Right? Because when our 3D doesn't look exactly the way we want it to, and we are already in the knowing that our 3D is validation of who we've been being, well, if we're making the conscious decision to be our new self, and the 3D doesn't look like your new self yet, who cares? Continue returning to your choice to who you want to be. And it will reflect. It will. But we attach ourselves very, very heavily to our 3D. And that, without question, is why the journey feels hard or like it's not working. The idea is to lose your grip of the 3D and put the grip in your imagination, which is your manifestation playground. Get into your imagination. Get to know the who is in you. The I am, God, universe, higher power, source energy, higher self, whatever you believe. Get acquainted with that. Understand your ability to manifest. Understand why you're manifesting. Because when you're doubting or getting frustrated, when you have that foundation of belief and faith, it will catch your fall. And you will become steady. You will. I had to learn that the hard way, and it took me a really long time to become someone who could stand in her belief. I'm just saying. I was someone that was always easily knocked down by 3D circumstances. And I'm telling you right now, most of the examples that I've shared tonight, including psychic readings and tarot readings, that was me. I did all of that. So I get it. The desire to hear outside validation. I get it. I did it. I understand. I'm just telling you that you will get to the place as you authentically choose to be the you that has whatever it is you're manifesting. You'll get to the place where you won't need any of that. Just don't give up. But this is why the journey can feel hard. But I promise you it's working. It's always been working. It's always telling you honestly and authentically who you have been. The 3D is always telling the truth as far as the reflection of who you have been being. But you've got the free will to change that and to choose any version of yourself. So on that note, I'll see you tomorrow.